All right. Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? It's myisha Hill here, staying in the work, reading Heal Your Way Forward. We're on chapter 2, and this is all about the Great White Awakening. I'm going to read about 2 pages today to kick us off as we continue our journey together of reading Heal Your Way Forward. All right, so I am going to go ahead and just jump into it this morning. It's a beautiful morning, and we're just going to do it. So let's see. This chapter of Heal Your Way Forward is called, let's see if I can, I wonder if I should make this bigger so y'all can follow along. I think it was this one, this one, this one. Who knows what it was called because I can't get it to do what I needed to do. Oh, just a second, friends. Oh, this works. So, this chapter of Heal Your Way Forward is called The Great White Awakening. And so, right now in history, if you are paying attention to what I'm paying attention to, you are in a great white awakening. Many of y'all thought you awoken in 2020, but you went back to sleep. So, like I've been saying for the past couple of months, this is your reminder. Everything like this week, it's Monday and it's quiet. It's post Super Bowl, but I can guarantee you there's going to be several things that happen between today and Friday that's going to dysregulate your nervous system. And if you would have woken up in 2020 and understood the importance of somatic body work and the somatics, the body systems, I don't think our awakenings would feel like such a shock. Now, you can totally disagree with me and say, no, we're not in a great right awakening. Uh, uh, I'm not sure. I'm not reading comments right now, but I'm going to pin this and address this in a second. Now, you can say what you must about the Great White Awakening, right? No one's being shamed, no one's being gaslit. And if you've never read the book Heal Your Way Forward, you might want to. Because when it comes to an awakening, you have to remember no one's being bullied. I don't know. Like, it's a lot of Darvo going on right now. So people don't like the words white people being used right now. So guess what I'm going to say? People in white bodies, because anyway, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. So, if you've never read Heal Your Way Forward, if you're not familiar with the work of Check Your Privilege, if you think that people of the global majority are out here bullying you, I need you to check your privilege. So, in this chapter of Heal Your Way Forward, the title of this chapter is Your Great White Awakening. And it says here, your willingness to look at your darkness is what empowers you to change. Your willingness to look at your darkness is what will empower you to change. So to awaken is to notice or act. To awaken is to notice an act or moment that brings you into greater awareness. And so your role in this work is to move into greater awareness. So at any given moment, we can be called to what is known as a great awakening. And those shifts of consciousness where our perspective is radically altered, where we become ready to accept and let go of what no longer serves us. Often, this awakening is born from the darkest moments of our lives, reminding us that in order to shift, change, and grow, we need to challenge our current understanding and engagement with the here and the now. We must become self aware of what is. It is an invitation to let go of the habits that have kept us from stepping into our own healing. I'm going to read that part again. Sorry, that often. Often, this awakening is born from the darkest moments of our lives, reminding us that in order to shift, change, and grow, we need to challenge our current understanding of and engagement with the here and now. We must become self aware to what is. It is an invitation to let go of the habits that have kept us into stepping into our own healing. And so when I think of in that moment of that chapter of the book, what am I saying? I'm basically saying when you are met with challenges, you need to pause and ask yourself, what am I here to learn? What is this here to teach me? How can this help shift me? What am I going to grow, heal, and change from? When you see something like we're seeing in the last few weeks, and you find yourself getting to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I do it? Where am I going to go? How am I going to do this? And your invitation is to slow the hell down. Okay, because everybody's in urgency right now. I'm not. I'm like, what day of the week is it? Oh, am I gonna go dancing today? Oh, let me go do my laundry. Right? Like, I'm not having that same visceral reaction, and none of us do because we're not a monolith. But if you are particularly a person in a white body, like, your invitation is to slow down and ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? Right? Like, this is another awakening. Like, what did I not get 5 years ago? What did I not get 3 years ago? What did I not get on this journey? Right? What did I not get that these situations are showing up again? These same feelings that I wrestled with in 2020 are back now. Why are these feelings back? And so when you are in a moment of awakening, which you are always in awakening on this journey, when you're in a moment of awakening, you are interrogating yourself and asking yourself these questions almost every day. Like right now, the major questions I see people asking is why, how is this happening? How is Congress letting them happen? How is this? We have to stop codepending on the people that are actively causing us harm and asking why, and start thinking about what am I here to learn? Where's my voice? How can I feel empowered in this work? How can I feel empowered on this journey? Where can I show up? What is my role in the revolution? Because when you know your role in the revolution, whatever they doing in at the wherever they doing it at, right? It's good to know, but you can't let that stop you on your journey. You cannot allow these systems to continue to gaslight you into unbelief. You get what I'm saying? So let's keep reading. There's like a lot of spam people here. I don't know where y'all coming from. Oh no. I just lost my connection on. Oh, it's still there. Okay, cool. So let's keep talking about the awakening. Here we go. So I'm hoping you all can still see me on Instagram. I'm not sure if it's working, and if it's not, it's on YouTube. So let's look at the awakening. When I think of awakening, I'm referring to that exact moment you knew something had to give. The moment some call rock bottom, where your mental health is so impacted by grief, shock, despair, or desolation that you find yourself staring at a red pill or the blue pill, knowing that you must make a decision to change. And like Neo or Alice in Wonderland before him, this rock bottom is, in fact, our great opportunity to see how our world is just a construct, a matrix of socialized ideas. You are reborn into a new reality, which might feel harsher at first as you realize that justice and equality are not for all, and that you have not been the good white person. This is y'all's words. I want to be a good white person. What the fuck is that? Like y'all have purity culture so tied into this work that some of y'all are worried about being a good white person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good white. What is that? Like, I'm not walking around these streets saying that I'm a good black person. Like, what is the point of saying good white person? What does that do? And what does that reinforce? Does it reinforce your relationship with purity culture? What is it reinforcing? Because the role shouldn't be being good or bad. That's a binary. You should be wanting to just be a good human and not use that as a center of a conversation to center parts of yourself that feels like you are living in a form of dysregulation and dysfunction. So, you are reborn into a new reality, which might feel harsher at first as you realize that justice and equality are not for all, and that you have not been the good white person you've always imagined yourself to be. And in that moment, it's easy to go down a despair tunnel, recognizing that your role in the violence you have always believed was someone else's fault. But there is also something else there, another path which shows you a more authentic world, not one filled with colorblind toxic positivity, but real lives, real hope, and real magic. Your awakening is such a magical place to be. I like to talk about magic a lot. I love to talk about magic and possibility and creativity and imagination and joy. Like, that is the root of most of my conversations the last few weeks. What can we imagine? What can we create? Where's the joy in all of this? And I think that people look at me like something is wrong with me when in fact I'm feeling hell of mentally well, because my focus is not on the dysfunction. My focus is on where I can serve and where I can benefit the collective. And a lot of people are, again, I did a reel, I think Saturday morning, around being codependent. as a codependent, like you and struggle as someone who struggled with codependency, you sit and you wait. You wait for permission to show up. You wait for someone to tell you what to do because you actually are navigating your own relationship with your own authenticity, your own voice, and people pleasing. And I think a lot of why a lot of folks are stuck right now in this, like, what do I do and how do I do, is that they forgot their catalyst and they forgot their roles in the revolution. And I'm hoping as I'm reading, you're reminded why you got into this work, like what your role is in this revolution. And so, can you name the moment of your awakening? And this book was written right like 2021. So, after your awakening, these names should bring a reminder to you. So, which black life has had to die so that you could awaken to the reality that black lives don't matter? What was it? The murder of Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, Eric Gardner, Lexi, Tony McDade, or George Floyd? And maybe those names aren't familiar to you, and maybe they weren't your catalyst. Maybe your awakening was far more personal. Maybe injustice or violence impacted someone you know, a friend, a partner, a coworker, a child, or maybe you were the perpetrator. Is that what's happening currently in America? Is that what's happening on your journey, on your liberating journey? Are you feeling like there is injustice and violence happening to a lot of people that you know within the collective, and you feel guilt and shame around that? That's how you know you're in awakening. The injustice that you're seeing playing out that has you questioning. I'm going to stop here for today. We'll begin at the top bottom of 34 tomorrow. The injustices that you are seeing in the world today that has you questioning, oh my God, how did this happen? How do we get here? What do we do? And you're in a freeze response or a flight response or a fawn response. All of that is like that natural part of the awakening. You are reawakening. You went to sleep, and your invitation now is to wake up again. Wake up. Reclaim your body. Reclaim what you put in your eyes and what your ears are. Go back to your why. Why did you begin? Y'all love the anti racism word. That's fine. Why did you begin your anti racism journey? I do not like to over identify with the labels because words have power. And when you look up the etymology of words, it's very interesting. This is just some of the stuff I'm studying for my own journey as a mystic, as a teacher, as a practitioner, and as a student. So, why did you begin this journey? And what is your role? If you've never thought about what your role is in the revolution, let me just give you the cheat code. Maybe you're a teacher in your everyday life. How can you, as a teacher, use that role in the revolution? What does that look like for you? What does it sound like? Now, should you be teaching anti racism work? No, I don't think so. If you're in a white body, absolutely not. Because y'all have been teaching it. Like, history is repeating itself in real time. People in white bodies have taken the lived experience from Black, Indigenous, and other bodies of culture, written books, give talks, and yet there's still a problem. So, no, if you're a teacher in everyday life, do you need to teach anti-racism? No. Do you need to teach your friends about anti-racism? No. You need to just live out your journey in such a way that inspires people to change. I will continue to say that. Live your journey out so that people can be inspired to change. There is nothing for you to do and or fix but yourself, right? So if you're a teacher, you can have a role in the revolution. Maybe you do, since they want to just, defund the Department of Education, and you're a teacher. Do you have time once a week to offer a online Zoom reading session to kids who are going to be impacted by the Department of Education? Maybe you're an accountant. Do you have time to show up for the collective and tell people how to spend their money during a recession? People you're in community with. Hey guys, like the financial stuff's looking this. As an accountant, this is what I recommend, and this is how we should roll. Can you bring your accountancy in the revolution? Maybe you're a professional dancer. Dancing and movement is definitely part of this revolution. How will you bring in movement? Because it's the arts and the movement, it's the golden age. Like, I didn't take that from somebody on the other side. But when you look at the astrology, that's the time we're in. We are in the time of revolution. If you look at astrology, if you don't believe in astrology, I hope you start to interrogate that. But if you look at the astrology of the times, and if you look at history, with America being in its 249th year, and what we know about revolutions and how democracies end, we have to have a lot of joy and movement and play. And that's new because everyone keeps trying to fight a system that has been operating the way it's going to operate. You've been called into another awakening. You have to interrogate your why and interrogate your role in this revolution. You have to remember what brought you in this work. What was it? Someone's death? Was it someone's life? Was it this current administration? And if it is, take a few minutes, shut everything down for a day, and get to understanding what your role is in this work. What do you care about? Why does it matter? You know what I'm saying? I think I'm using Heal Your Way Forward because it's a book that was written a couple years ago, but I'm definitely seeing the relationships with that book. And yeah, I'm kind of like I feel like I wrote something that can speak to any moment of your life. But specifically this chapter, chapter 2 on the Great White Awakening in the book Heal Your Way Forward, like it's it's very telling. It's very telling. And to see how people's reactions are to what's happening, it's very telling. And so I want to let you know I'm talking a lot about remembering your why, remember why you got started, remember like why you're engaged in this work. Like I'm going to always give those reminders because it's very important that if you've never done mindset work, you don't know. And I'm always going to tell you all, if you go to liberationfoundations.com, we have our Liberations Foundation self-paced work, and you can take a slow paced journey and reminder of 8 weeks. We're on week 2 now. You can join anytime. Start at week 1 and work your way slowly to week 2, because that first week is about why. Why are you engaging this work? What do you care about? What do you value? Why did you even start this in the beginning? Have you focused on yourself in the journey? Because this is also what has happened. What has happened is that many people have done a journey and never were clear on why they were doing it in the first place. You were just fact checking and regurgitating information. And unfortunately, in this current social political climate, fact checking and regurgitating information is not going to help us in revolution. You have to know your why and you have to know your role. It's very important. What is your role right now? Is your role to continue to unlearn and relearn? Yes. Is your role to learn what it means to do generational healing? Yes. It feels like a lot, because it is, because for the first time you have to center yourself in your own journey, and you have been told you can't center yourself. That's why we're not changing, because people are not centering their healing that's needed on this journey. I was showing y'all the wrong website. It's liberationfoundations.com. So until you center what you need to, like your why and what you care about, that connects with that next level, then you can start talking about the systems. Because right now you don't even know why you're on this journey. You just know that racism is bad. You don't want to be a good bad white person, and everyone else in your social group is doing it, so you'll do it too. It's like the drug-free program. You just want to not do the drugs, or you want to do the dare speech, so you abstain from drugs because everybody else is. It's a lot of bandwagon that goes on in social justice industrial complex work. And that's why I continue to say, and I'll keep saying, that this work is healing work, because it is deeper than learning, reading White Fragility, shout out to Robin, and trying to take that framework and apply it to your life. You have to do the inner work, and you have to interrogate yourself. My final request here is check out liberationfoundations.com. It is a low-hanging fruit. There are scholarships available, because everything we do has scholarships, and you can take that step-by-step journey. Week 2 is dropping today and tomorrow. We're just going to pace it so you can remember why you got started. Also, do me a favor and pre-order the paperback of Heal Your Way Forward. You can pre-order that paperwork at your favorite bookshop, Amazon, Reparations Club, wherever you want to pre-order that paperback copy. We are going to be dropping tomorrow the paperback goodies. There are goodies if you get your paperback. There's a Jeopardy game, the digital Jeopardy game. There are authentic relating games. There are There's a coloring book. So many good stuff, but you have to buy you have not the paper, not the hardcover. You have to pre-order the paperback to access these goodies. So we'll drop those tomorrow. Um, Other than that, y'all, that's all I want to say. I want to read a little bit about Heal Your Way Forward, give y'all some context, and remember things are happening because we're still on that same like burn down the system. Let's tear it all down. When you gonna tear yourself down? The minute you tear yourself down and realize that this work is actually a deeper calling to healing yourself, is the moment that we'll start to see social change. Much love. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see y'all sometime soon.